Welcome back, family, and welcome to Slip Logic. The top leagues are approaching fast, the matches are coming in fast, and we are right back to business. You know how we do it here. We strip away the narrative, ignore the mainstream hype, and focus entirely on the numbers that actually move the needle. In today's breakdown, we're dissecting 4 key Carabao Cup first-round fixtures across expected goals, tactical friction points, personnel changes, and true market probabilities. Our mission hasn't changed. Cut through the emotion, find the mathematical mispricings, and show you where the real plus EV edges lie. No gut feelings, no bias, just pure data-driven clarity. Let's dive straight into the numbers.
First up, we are analyzing the Carabao Cup tie between Wolverhampton Wanderers and Port Vale, live from Molineux Stadium. Looking at the recent underlying metrics, Wolves hold a clear advantage. At home, Wolves generate 1.42 NPXG per 90 and score 1.15 goals per game. When facing lower league opposition, their projected creation rises to around 1.72 NPXG. Defensively, they concede 1.35 goals per game from 1.28 NPXGA. Port Vale average 0.95 NPXG on the road and score 0.90 goals per game. Defensively away from home, they concede 1.65 goals per game from 1.58 NPXGA, showing clear vulnerability against stronger sides.
This matchup features a classic higher tier versus lower league battle. Wolves control games with 56.5% possession and a 58.0% field tilt. They use a high-intensity 9.8 PPDA counterpress. Port Vale operate with just 42.0% possession and a low 38.5% field tilt on the road, relying on a passive 14.5 PPDA deep block. The stylistic clash is Wolves' territorial dominance and half-space overloads versus Port Vale's compact low block. Wolves will look to sustain pressure and force high-quality chances.
Personnel news is relatively straightforward. Wolves may rotate some players for the Cup, but their individual quality remains significantly higher. Their baseline creation floor against lower league opposition stays strong. Port Vale have a full squad available. However, their away defensive structure regularly surrenders high shot volume, placing heavy demands on the goalkeeper. Wolves will establish early territorial control at Molineux and pin Port Vale deep. Port Vale will sit in a low block and look for rare transition opportunities. Given the clear quality gap and Port Vale's road defensive issues, Wolves are expected to break them down over 90 minutes. Definitive conclusion: Wolves are heavy favorites. The strongest selections are Wolves' 90-minute money line or Wolves' minus 1.25 Asian handicap. Current market pricing shows Wolves as heavy favorites at minus 394, with the draw at plus 475 and Port Vale at plus 850. The biggest value sits on under 3.5 total goals at minus 168. Our modeling gives under 3.5 a 70.5% probability. Cup dynamics and potential early control by Wolves often lead to more measured scorelines rather than unrestricted blowouts. This creates a solid plus 12.8% expected value. The smart money targets under 3.5 total goals, minus 168, or Wolves' minus 1.25 Asian handicap.
Next up, the Carabao Cup first-round clash between Middlesbrough FC and Wrexham AFC, live from Riverside Stadium. Looking at the recent underlying metrics, Middlesbrough hold a clear home edge. At the Riverside, Middlesbrough generate 1.68 NPXG per 90 and score 1.60 goals per game. Defensively, they concede 1.15 goals per game from 1.11 NPXGA, giving them a strong plus 0.58 NPXG differential at home. Wrexham average 1.15 NPXG on the road and score 1.20 goals per game. Defensively away from home, they concede 1.55 goals per game from 1.52 NPXGA, showing clear vulnerability when pinned back.
This matchup features a classic higher tier versus ambitious lower league battle. Middlesbrough control games with 57.2% possession and a 58.5% field tilt. They use a high-frequency 9.5 PPDA counterpress. Wrexham operate with 44.5% possession and a low 40.2% field tilt on the road, relying on a passive 14.4 ppda deep block. The stylistic clash is Middlesbrough's territorial dominance and half-space creation versus Wrexham's compact low block. Middlesbrough will look to sustain pressure through Morgan Whittaker, Tommy Conway, and David Strelick.
Personnel news favors Middlesbrough. They have a strong available core including Sol Brynn, Luke Ayling, Aidan Morris, Morgan Whittaker, and Tommy Conway. This keeps their home creation floor above 1.6 NPXG. Wrexham have a full squad available, with Kiefer Moore and Sam Smith offering physical presence. However, their away midfield regularly surrenders high shot volume, putting pressure on the back three. Middlesbrough will establish early territorial control at the Riverside and pin Wrexham deep. Wrexham will sit in a low block and look for set piece or counter opportunities. Given Middlesbrough's superior home metrics and Wrexham's road defensive issues, the hosts are expected to break them down over 90 minutes. Definitive conclusion: Middlesbrough are the favorites. The strongest selections are Middlesbrough 90-minute money line or over 2.5 total goals.
Last but not least, we break down the Carabao Cup first-round tie between Sheffield Wednesday and Bolton Wanderers, live from Hillsborough Stadium. Looking at the recent underlying metrics, both sides show balanced but imperfect profiles. At home, Sheffield Wednesday generate 1.38 NPXG per 90 and score 1.20 goals per game. Defensively, they concede 1.25 goals per game from 1.22 NPXGA. Bolton Wanderers average 1.22 NPXG on the road and score 1.15 goals per game. Defensively away from home, they concede 1.40 goals per game from 1.45 NPXGA, showing clear vulnerability when traveling.
This matchup features a relatively even territorial battle. Sheffield Wednesday control home games with 51.5% possession and a 52.0% field tilt. They use a selective 11.2 ppda mid-press. Bolton operate with 48.0% possession and a 45.5% field tilt on the road, relying on a 12.8 ppda mid-block and vertical transitions. The stylistic clash is Wednesday's balanced mid-block versus Bolton's counter-attacking approach. Both sides generate enough volume to create chances, which points toward an open cup tie.
Personnel news is relatively balanced. Sheffield Wednesday have a solid available core at home, which keeps their creation floor around 1.35 plus NPXG. Bolton travel with a functional squad, but their away defensive unit regularly surrenders high shot volume, placing pressure on the goalkeeper. Sheffield Wednesday will look to establish steady control early at Hillsborough. Bolton will sit in a structured mid-block and look for transitions behind the advancing fullbacks. Given both teams' defensive numbers and their previous high-scoring cup meeting, this is set up to be an open game with chances at both ends. Definitive conclusion: the clearest statistical angle is both teams to score yes or Sheffield Wednesday draw no bet. Current market pricing shows Sheffield Wednesday as slight favorites at plus 120, with the draw at plus 240 and Bolton at plus 210. The biggest value sits on both teams to score yes at minus 138. Our modeling gives BTTS a 66.5% probability. Both sides concede enough volume, and their recent head-to-head produced a 3-3 thriller. This creates a solid plus 13.9% expected value. The smart money targets both teams to score at minus 138 or Sheffield Wednesday draw no bet.
That wraps up our quantitative breakdown for Sheffield Wednesday versus Bolton Wanderers in the Carabao Cup. Now I want to hear from you. Does our model's plus 13.9% EV edge on both teams to score hit for you, or do you see Bolton holding them off? Drop your predictions and lines in the comments below. If you appreciate this data-first, no-hype approach, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss our model updates before lines shift. Appreciate the support, and I'll catch you in the next breakdown.